Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the locker room. I am your host, Will Compton, along with host Josh Pate, the one and only, the best in college football, Josh Pate. And my boy Taylor Lewan. It is the Bussin Bowl week. As Josh Pate would say, whom's to thunk it? Whom's to thought we would get to this point with the Bussin Bowl? We're going to be talking games, but you know our minds are on the Bussin Bowl. If you love locker room talk, you love banter, you love talking ball, you love the boys, this is the show for you. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. If you have found yourself coming across this episode every week, make sure you are subscribed and following on all of our channels. The last week, our records, your boy didn't do so hot. 1-4. Taylor and Josh Pate carried the train, pushed the train for the boys with 3-2. This week, we'll be talking Texas Tech at Utah, Auburn at Oklahoma, Illinois at Indiana, Florida at Miami, and the Bussin Bowl. That's the only thing on our minds. Let's get to it. Welcome to the locker room. We are presented by the one and only the FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. And before we get into things, we just want to remind you guys that gambling is for entertainment, and FanDuel always has your back with tons of responsible gaming tools to make sure that your play stays fun and stress-free. Check out FanDuel.com/RG or the responsible gaming section in the app to learn more about staying in control of your game.
All right, fellas, we're going to keep this one short and sweet. This Saturday, September 20th, my Michigan Wolverines are taking on Will's Nebraska Cornhuskers in what might be, this is actually a typo. It says what is the most important bowl game in college football, the Bussin Bowl.
So let me tell y'all boys at home what you're going to do. You're going to head to FanDuel.com/Bussin. You're going to grab that Taylor vs. Will 50% profit boost token, and you're going to smash that Nebraska money line.
Or you can pop open the FanDuel Sportsbook app, grab the profit boost token, and pick Michigan to win. You can tail me and fade Will. You can even fade Will and tail me. But with the Taylor vs. Will profit boost token, your win will be even bigger.
Just whoever side you're on, just go to FanDuel Sportsbook app right now and use our 50% profit boost token for an even bigger payday.
I know this your intro had you say we're only focused on the Bussin Bowl, but a lot of good games.
A lot of good games.
A lot of good games.
You gotta have a good undercard.
Gotta have a good undercard. Things are really exciting.
But the main event,
By far.
Yeah.
people are talking.
People are whispering, some louder than others.
I think people were whispering last week. People are just outright talking this week.
You think they're talking?
I mean, little kids are coming up to me on the street. Hey, bud, Bussin Bowl, who you got? And I'm like, I'm going to be there, kid. You're going to be in school Friday.
Yeah, exactly. What's going on?
I feel nervous.
I've been seeing the fan base accounts just go back and forth all week long.
Yeah.
It's getting a little nasty.
And good for Nebraska to finally get a little nasty.
Yeah, to get a little edge.
Nebraska
to
nice 6 days a week. That's a Matt Ruleism. Like, you want Nebraska to be nice 6 days a week, but I need them on Saturday. Like, if I don't fear of getting a little bit assaulted on Saturday, then Nebraska didn't do their job.
You've had this. All right, we got to hash this out for a second. So you've had this vibe. You've had a very big brother vibe about this thing.
Yeah.
And you're talking like a big brother who watched little brother not be 9 or 10 years old anymore, but little brother's like 15 now.
Right.
And you still feel superior to him, but like you think if he got you in the right hold, or if he caught you getting out of bed, like he could get you on the ground. Am I wrong? Because that's the vibe I'm getting off.
No,
of
yeah, and while you're telling that story,
perfectly.
I remember so I have a younger brother, he's 3 years younger than me, and I remember we would get into it, and my dad would say, hey man, someday he's going to be bigger than you, and he's going to be able to take you out. I'm 34 now, I'm 6'7", he's 6'2". I'll say, dude, listen, when it comes to this game, like, I'm excited for Nebraska's opportunity to go against a blue blood program. I'm excited for Matt Rule year 3. I'm excited for Dylan Raiola. I'm excited for them to see real competition. And like, it's tough to position you just put Nebraska in as like essentially being like, yeah, Michigan State's younger brother and maybe even Nebraska's younger brother at this point. But like, I'm excited for Saturday. I'm excited for the Cornhusker fans because they have more hope and optimism than they've ever had since, 51 was out there taking out heads.
Optimism's pretty high every year.
Optimism is pretty high every year.
Great job in the offseason.
I'll say this. Optimism has been very high every year, and then all of a sudden this week it's like...
Until insert game.
And then the
Last year,
game,
Illinois.
the game starts to take place, and it's like, Hey, Will, remember 3-9, best 3-9 team. Hey, Will, remember we're going to be good, remember? And it's like, yep. We've heard nothing.
Don't you think in week 1, the fact that the Cincy game was a one-possession game and you got the one-possession game monkey off the back, do you think that does anything to alleviate your petrification if you're in the fourth quarter and it's a dogfight? Or are you just over the cliff at this point? There is no fear, even though you don't control anything because you're just going to be standing on the sidelines. How do you feel if it's 17-all, 5 minutes to go Saturday?
I think that's a spot you want to see Nebraska in. Like, yeah, they win the game one possession against Cincinnati. Like when Herzog gets the defensive holding call, keeps his composure, ends up icing the game at the end. Like, that is awesome because we usually find a way to lose those games. I think there's always that little bit of that dude on the outside tapping on the window, that little bit of nerves that is like, hey, you guys haven't won a big game. Look, we'll get into all this. We'll get into all this. This is the main event of the show. This is the main event of the show. It's the main event of the show. Let's get to we got Texas Tech. We got a lot of, like you said it, we got a great undercard. We got some great games on the board. We'll get into it when the Bussin Bowl comes.
I do like Texas Tech, Utah, because this is when we were talking about the futures. Obviously, we had Kansas State, who, tough. God. Arizona State goes 0 yet again against Mississippi State when they're in Mississippi, lose that game. But in the futures conversation, like, you're the one that brought up Texas Tech. You're the one that brought up Utah, being like, that coach has been there forever. They usually have 10-win seasons. They had one bad year. All of a sudden, people are forgetting about them. So I love to see where you stand in this whole thing.
You got creatine in that juice?
No, this is a company that doesn't sponsor the show, so we won't give them a free shout out, but it's pure caffeine and water. It's real healthy, though. Organic caffeine. Let me turn this off.
Like First Form.
All right.
A lot like First Form. Derived from green tea, if you're wondering.
Even though I'm, one game above 500 or 500, or my record against the number, not so great. But I don't think that's what's important. What you said is important, and that is I nailed all this stuff in the preseason.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So yes, Texas Tech, brand new team, except the quarterback position. Utah, not only did people write him off, they disrespected him a little bit in writing him off. And this is the only head coach in the Big 12 that drives a motorcycle to work, in Kyle Whittingham. So that's worth something. And then the other thing is they, like Oklahoma, who's been getting all this praise, went and got a quarterback and an offensive coordinator, and they packaged him and brought him in. And it's working for Oklahoma and it's working for Utah. Now, my one concern is, after week 1, some people, maybe even including me, ran their mouths a little bit because Utah just ran it up on UCLA. Unbeknownst to us, UCLA was dead in the water, kind of like Florida State last year, so it didn't mean as much in retrospect. But that doesn't mean they're not a good team. It just means I got to pull the hot air balloon down just a little bit. All right, Texas Tech. Like I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, they have multiple starting defensive linemen from last year that are not hurt. They did not transfer. They're just not starting anymore because they brought in better players. They get to go on the road. I think it's the best O-line they'll face all year in Utah. I think this is the best defensive line Utah will face all year. Line of scrimmage battle is what will decide it. But I really hope, even if people out there don't know these rosters, and I can't blame you if you don't know them, you probably have a life to live. This is Texas Tech, Utah. At least you need to know those quarterbacks, because those quarterbacks, Devin Dampier for Utah is, I think, 7 touchdowns, 0 picks guy, also their leading rusher. And Baron Morton's been really good as well. So these are 2 really good quarterbacks. I'm going to lean Texas Tech. I think it's the biggest game we know the least about out of all the matchups this weekend. However, we may get treated to it a second time during conference championship weekend.
I like Texas Tech as well. And I think when I look at like the transfer portal, how the number 1 transfer portal class, I was nervous in the beginning of the year when you looked at a team like Florida State and you're like, well, they had so many transfer guys come in. How are you going to get to gel? How are you to come together? And I think we've been proven, like, when you bring good players in the college football landscape, like, they're going to gel relatively quickly and keep it moving forward. And that's a big reason why I like Texas Tech in this one. I love Utah. I love the motorcycle thing. But at the end of the day, Texas Tech.
Give me Utah. I like is it Dampier?
Devon. Yeah, he didn't want Devin. He wants Devon Dampier.
Devon Dampier, running mobile quarterback, and he is the leading rusher for the team. He every game he's at the top of the rushing stats list. Along with, obviously, he throws the ball really well too. Offensive line, driving a motorcycle to work. For those 3 reasons, I'm going Utah. I think a mobile quarterback is always dangerous in any college football game. And so far, like, they whooped UCLA. They've handled business the second 2 weeks. You were talking about Utah before the season started. Again, you were dead on the site with all of your preseason picks, all your preseason rankings, your quarterback rankings.
Everything was right.
Everything was right.
Except the ones that got screwed up.
Except the ones that got screwed
And
up.
that's not your fault. That's their fault.
That's players and coaches.
That's their fault. Yeah.
But Dan Pierre behind an offensive line, him running the ball. I like Utah this game, and it's at Utah. Tough place to play.
10 a.m. kickoff time. 10 a.m. local. Still serving breakfast when they kick this game off. Now, my question for the three of us and anybody else out there: nobody thinks any team in the Big 12 can win the national title, right? You're just thinking about they're just. It's good, hard-nosed football. It's entertaining to watch, but no one thinks about
the
any
product's
Big 12
getting
team.
better. It's like hey, instead of watching just like Big 10 and SEC and then maybe a couple ACC schools, you basically never really watch the Big 12. This year, I feel like it's kind of, hey, let me throw in a Big 12
And
game.
I feel like they're always on at weird times.
Sure.
Yeah.
No different this week. My question, which is going to be unanswered today because we got to let the game happen, is this the kind of game that we see some kind of performance in to where when you get done with it, you're saying more than just that team can win the Big 12? Like, is someone so dominant, so emphatic? Is Texas Tech's roster able to flex so hard? Is Utah's O-line able to pave the way so thoroughly that you say, that's better than just a Big 12 team? Like, that could be a playoff team. That's my unanswerable question about this game. Someone's going to win, of course. Does someone win in a fashion that makes you say, I actually need to pay attention to them in the playoff picture?
That's a great question.
My answer there leans no.
I lean no as well.
My answer there leans no.
Wait,
It's
if
like
one
when,
of these teams who are both ranked in the top 15 go in and have a dominant performance against the other.
Yep.
You're not thinking to yourself, this is a playoff team?
No. I thought you were talking
No,
about like
national championship team.
Correct.
Yeah, when I say playoff picture, I mean
Yeah, that
making it
checks
to the
out.
playoff.
Unfortunately, and I feel bad for the Big 12 saying that checks out.
Because it's like you look at Arizona State last year when they were kind of making their push and they were kind of like America was kind of rooting for them there at the end. Like, you can't sit there and overlook Levitt, Cam Scatterby. Like, they had guys. It's like, oh, these are guys like in college football. I don't know if like Utah or Texas Tech, like they've shown themselves yet.
Yeah.
I think if they're going to do it, it's going to be at the end of the year. If somebody has like, whether it's an undefeated record, a tough one loss, and guys are like jumping out of the screen to where you're starting to watch them the same way you did. Like Levitt was like a recruit who transferred that you probably talked about and you were on a little bit, but he really came alive toward the end of the season when they were starting to get that national notoriety. Cam Scatterby, like spring football game.
Love
we
him.
knew about Cam
We knew about him before anybody else knew
I had
about
him
him.
playing all 4 quarters in the spring football.
You
game.
developed him.
Yeah, I developed him.
Dude,
I said,
when we played that, when we did the spring game at ASU, like I know multiple coaches there. The head coach when I went to high school with, the special teams coach was my head coach in high school. They basically said, "Hey, we gave you the best team. Like you'll win this game. Like it'll be awesome." This Scatterby kid who just transferred like Sac Valley or wherever it came from, he looks at him in the third quarter and goes, "Hey, I'm just gonna keep running you. I have to win this game." And
We're
they
gonna ride
fucking
you
beat us.
in the spring game.
Yeah, they
Absolutely.
fucking-
This is my
The
shot.
staff was even saying too, hey, we're gonna have to stop giving Scatterby carries, and I was like, no, he's got to run the football. Like, we only move the ball if he runs the football.
Yeah.
And I even go one-on-one to him, like, hey, listen, I know this is a spring game. Like, there's gonna be a lot of women out there after the game. Like, I need you to run the football for this team. We have to win this game.
And it really was just, I was sitting there like, who the fuck is this white kid? I'm on the other side, like, can we do something about that? And they're like, yeah, we actually just learned
Just
about him ourselves.
insane lower body strength.
We were literally in the ground floor of all that.
Beautiful, man. 32 carries in a spring game?
Yeah.
If that's what you got to do, that's what you
Won
got to
the
do.
game.
Really, shaved off years of his NFL career. He just took so much dirt off the tires. This episode is also brought to you by Form Energy. Form Energy delivers best-in-class taste with natural flavors and zero sugar. Form Energy has natural caffeine derived from green tea. Form comes in a variety of flavor: Screamin' Freedom, bottle Rocket Pop inspired, Grape Smash, Blue Blitz, Orange Fury. Perfect for those who put in the work. You get ready for these games. You look into the Bussin Bowl. You look into Texas Tech versus Utah. You got to put in the work. Early mornings, long days. Form Energy helps you get it done. Form Energy. We do the work.
Hey, one game that I am excited about is this Auburn at Oklahoma. Right now, Oklahoma's favored 6.5. The over/under on this game is 48.5.
Yeah. Coming back to your old town, seeing the ex-girlfriend, like Jackson Arnold could do it, don't you think?
No.
Same.
Wow.
I think this has got Oklahoma all over.
This has got Oklahoma big in a big way. I mean, Jackson Arnold throws for 251 yards against Ball State. Other than that, it's been mostly legs by the guy. We're still having the confidence conversation about him. Brent Venables, he did it to my boys. But that defense, the way they're able to disguise and distract a quarterback who might be not as confident as he should be, second guess himself a little bit.
Not as confident.
They're going to put him in passing situations. John Mateer.
Number one quarterback in the SEC right now.
As advertised. Deion Burks. And the defense has only held, I think they've only given up one touchdown this year. Who was that to? Michigan. That's right. So, I mean, I think Oklahoma's legit.
Yeah, I do too.
And at least having the experience too to talk about the threat of like a Bryce Underwood coming in to, hey, we can't let him ruin the game with his legs. Like Jackson Arnold, he's got his legs, but this game, going back to Oklahoma, is all this boy's thought about probably since last Monday.
Yeah.
And him going into Oklahoma.
Oh, buddy, he's been thinking about it in July.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like he sees the calendar, he's like, I have to.
I'm talking
beat
about
them.
that feeling to where coaches, you're going over the game plan and you're not really hearing what's being said because you're just in your mind thinking about, we get through this week, like next week's Oklahoma, the Oklahoma game's coming up, going back home, going back around my former teammates. And that defense is probably licking their chops to play him.
Yeah.
It's a great spot for Jackson Arnold. There's a fly on my shoe and I want to swing so hard. But I'm focused. I'm Jackson Arnold right now. I don't love the spot for Jackson Arnold. In fact, I hate the spot for Jackson Arnold. So you mentioned that they hadn't really been able to throw the ball. If you look at his spray chart, there is no green dot in the middle of the field. Deep third, there is no green dot. Not even just a token 3rd and 23, heave it up against like roast beef tech. There's nothing. So if I just got a bunch of hitches and I got a bunch of 10-yard underneath stuff to the sidelines, and I got to face Brent Venables on the road, who always takes something away. I don't really think you're going to run it down OU's throat. I don't think quarterback run's going to be what decides it for Auburn. You got to be able to throw the ball. Now, that sounds like the Michigan game. So it sounds like I'm profiling the OU-Michigan game. There's one big difference, and that is Auburn's probably got 4 receivers better than the best that Michigan has this particular year. They got guys where if all else fails, you could reasonably throw it up and expect them to just win a fight. I don't really think there's going to be much that aesthetically is pleasing about Auburn's offensive plan here. They're going to run it. It's going to be very limited. And then their best hope in the pass game, probably still hitting anything over the middle, is probably just throwing it up, and Cam Coleman's just an alien. He should be in another planet, but he happens to be playing for Auburn. He just went up and turned a 50-50 ball into an 80-20 ball. Wow, we're in the red zone now. But if that's your plan, that's a really tough tightrope to walk.
That's not a great plan.
Yeah.
Not a good plan.
And conversely, like, Mateer moved the ball fairly well against Michigan. Michigan's good defense. I don't think Auburn is. Like, I don't think Auburn is to the level they are. I think there are plays to be made against the secondary. You mentioned Burks, but it's not a one-man show. Like, there are guys beneath him and behind him that make him able to be featured because you can't just focus in on him one-on-one. I think it profiles so well for Oklahoma. I think the fact that Auburn did get past Baylor in week 1 has kept this line under a touchdown right now. But I think Oklahoma wins by 10 or more. I think they win by double digits.
Yeah,
and not to mention too, Mateer can run the football as well.
Yes, and which is always tremendous.
And he is poised and great on a mic when the camera's on his face.
He's got it. He's got every girl in Oklahoma swooning right now.
He's got me.
He's got old Josh Pate.
He's got Pate.
He's got us.
That's your Heisman pick.
And
at least you've got to be feeling good about that. Your SEC rankings are.
No one has screwed up my Heisman pick yet. That feels good.
Yeah, mine's dead in the dirt. And one last thing about Jackson Arnold. Like, if you're going to allow him to throw those like small little 5-yard routes, like Venables will live in that all day because he knows once he gets you to the red zone, no one does it better than him in the red zone.
Yep.
And you're going to get 3, and a lot more times than not, Oklahoma's getting 6.
That's why I actually think explosive passing touchdowns.
Get his ass?
I think I chipped him.
There's a remnant there.
Oh,
something got
him.
killed.
He might have got wounded. He might be laying on the floor.
Look for blood.
Yeah. Let him die. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. What was I talking about?
Sorry.
Red zone. Jackson
yes.
Arnold.
Yeah, I don't really even care if you let him complete a couple of explosives through the air. If they score on the explosives through the air, that's really Auburn's shot. There's a huge difference in, 52-yard pass play, pushed him out of bounds at the 9 versus he scored, because that is, I really would be more worried about Auburn's offense with them outside the red zone, but in plus territory, than I would with them in the red zone,
Right.
which is a really weird sentence to say, but this is the kind of game that sets up that
Yeah,
way.
it's like you rather have them on the 50 than the 25.
If I'm OU defense, I'm actually more comfortable when they're on the 16 than when they're on the 30. When they're on the 30, I got to defend the whole field. And their only shot of scoring really, to me, in my mind, is heaving it. Well, no one's really heaving it on the 16.
What about the 42-yard line?
I love it. I would prefer the 39. I love the 42, though.
I prefer the 16 versus the 30. Well, let's talk about the 42 because I
Yeah.
don't feel like we've talked a whole lot
That's
about
a fringe
the
area.
42-yard line.
That's a fringe area.
Fringe, yeah.
You got to have that. So we're all going Oklahoma.
We are.
We're all going Oklahoma.
We don't believe in Hugh Freeze.
Look at that.
Unfortunately.
It was on my paper.
Really? Look at him. Looks like a Husker.
It's Bryce Underwood.
Jeez.
Illinois.
Indiana.
You go to Indiana?
I'll tell you what I love in this game, and it's the over.
Here we
Over
go
52
again.
and a half.
Did you hit? How did your totals go last week?
I can't remember.
It looks like not great based on 1 and 4.
I was going to say.
But
it
those
looks-
could have been his
but
wins.
but maybe my 1 and 4,
Yeah.
the one win was the over.
Yeah, do we know that?
I should know that.
I'll say
The
this.
Bussin
I
Bowl.
like Illinois, I like Brett Bielema. I think if you look at just who they've played, Indiana, it's like Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Old Dominion.
Yep.
And it's like you can put a billion points on them. Like teams look a lot better right now because they've played nobody. Their numbers are better because they've played nobody. And there's very few teams that have been, in real competition. And I guess like the real competition Illinois has is Duke. They pay $8 million for a quarterback and they held him to 19 points. So if I'm looking at that, Indiana has that, Tyler Morris, that wide receiver. And I think they kept the production up. Like they lost him, they kept the production up because of who they're playing. But when you get to Illinois, I think the defense is going to take care of business, and I like them going on the road and covering. Was it 5.5? I have the card right here. I don't know why I'm asking.
Bloomington, Indiana, tough place to
5.5.
play.
First Big Ten game I ever started in was in Bloomington, Indiana. And I'll say this, the stands are very close. The student section is right behind the visiting benches. I look behind, what do I see? A lady with some Major League Yabos. Very distracting. We still ended up winning that game.
Yep. That's good. Better team now, too.
Better team now as
Better
well,
team.
yes. Michigan, well, we're probably actually the same back then. We were terrible.
Bloomington, Indiana, tough place to play. Indiana didn't play a whole lot before they faced the Huskers last year. What they did to my Huskers, they whooped us on a sunny Bloomington, Indiana day. I feel like both teams are gonna score here because I like what's old buddy's name, Altenheimer.
Altmaier.
I actually think his name should be Altenheimer.
Yeah, Altenheimer. Like I like that boy Altenheimer. He's a good football player.
He diced up Michigan last year.
And there's something, I love Bielema. I think the culture, like run game, you got Altenheimer, you got some defense.
Big Ten winning coach.
Big
Bielema.
Ten winning coach. He haunts my dreams all the time because of what they did to us when he was at Wisconsin and we played him in the Big Ten championship. But there's something about Signetti that I just feel uneasy. Like if I'm going to be confident of going against this man, if I'm going to go anyway, I'm going to pick a total on this game and it's going to be over because I think there's going to be a lot of points scored.
I hated it the first time. I hated it more the second time you said it.
You love Lucas Altenheimer moving the ball up and down the field. You love points in this game.
I love points in
You
this
love
game.
Fernando Mendoza transferring in from, I think it was Cal. Isn't that where he was last year? First off, you kind of talked me into the over. But I am going to take a side. But in my free time, in my social life, I may bet some on the over. I'm with you. I think Illinois is going to cover here.
Come on.
I actually picked them to win, but that's not what we're doing here. I learned my lesson with Florida last week
I'll draw the line with you. And I would definitely say that Illinois wins this game.
because of Altenheimer.
Yeah, if this is a pick 'em, I like Illinois. But when we get the points and then Signetti's sitting over there, I feel like he's staring at me in the corner over there.
5.5 points difference.
So if we're just picking them, give me the 5.5 point dog outright. However, if we're going spread,
Plus 168 right now, Illinois.
I gotta lay 'em. Because it's a tough place to play. It's a tough game to pick. Tough game to pick. It's Bussin Bowl week.
It's Bussin Bowl week, man.
You just killed a fly. That thing had a family and kids.
Give me
Probably
the
did have a family
points.
and kids.
Give me over.
This is a primetime game. It's a primetime game.
It's 5.5.
I got to be honest. I like the dog outright.
listen,
But give me the favorite to cover. I love it. That's a man who needs to be betting totals. That's a man who needs to stick to totals.
Oh, good times, boys.
Man, we're really just You can feel it in this room right now. We're gonna wrap this episode to bring you Bussin With The Boys. If you don't already know, the boys have a 50% profit boost token available every college football Saturday. That's a 50% boost on any college football Saturday bet. Just open up the FanDuel Sportsbook app this Saturday and look out for the Bussin With The Boys PBT.
Florida, Miami. That's what I'm feeling in this room right now. Florida at Miami.
Miami minus 7.5. This is the same spread that Florida had against LSU. What we say at the LSU game? So LSU's going to take care of business. Miami has a better offense than LSU does. Florida, Billy Napier, 5 interceptions.
Let's be clear. Florida should have won that cover last week.
Let's be clear. They didn't.
But also let's be clear.
Two good points.
Two
good points.
Let's be clear.
5
shoulda,
picks.
coulda, woulda.
5 picks and you lose by 10.
If my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle. However, Florida couldn't do
Fair.
it.
Good point.
They had 5 interceptions. So if you're Billy Napier, what do you do? Hey, we want to run the ball now. Well, that's only going to get you so far. We want to take the ball out of DJ Lagway's hand. Well, he threw 5 interceptions. I'm sure his confidence is at an all-time high right now. So
all I'm saying is I called that game.
Then Miami is covering. That's it.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So if you throw 5 picks the week before, like you said, ideally you'd like to have a run game to lean on, right? Mm-hmm. However, most times if you throw the ball 50 times in a game, it's because you don't have a run game, right? You're forced to throw the ball. What if I told you that Florida's leading tailback is averaging 6.5 yards per carry, and they're still throwing it 57.5% of the time so far this year? You would think to yourself, that makes no sense. And you're right. You make a good point. That makes no sense.
Thank you.
So now's the time to run the ball. Unfortunately, it's Miami.
Right.
You're not really going to run the ball all that successfully on Miami. So your one shot is, I believe, in their secondary. I believe it's been retooled. But relatively speaking, you are far more likely to do business through the air against Miami than on the ground. How are you calling the game if you're Napier? Are you really just etch a sketch left to right, erase the board? I don't remember last week. My job's on the line. Our season's on the line. I'm just going to let him turn it loose 45 or 50 times again? Do you really feel good about that?
I think you got to run the football because the Miami offense is really good. I think you want to keep the ball out of Carson Beck's hands and those receivers. You do want to slow the game down. Whether people are going to say it's a reaction to the 5 picks or not, when you look at this game isolated, you want to run the football more. And obviously, if you have the stats to back it up, we do need to run the football more. It's just keeping the ball. You got to keep this game close somehow. Because if you're going to lean on Lagway, who just threw 5 picks, he could be having the yips right now. He could be seeing ghosts out there. Yippy. If you're going to put the ball in his hands 40 or 50 times, I'm not feeling comfortable as a coach if I'm in that situation. We got to run the ball. We got to put a DJ in some better situations, moving around out of the pocket, easier throws, everything else. You're not trying to win the game in the first half. I think if anything, you want to drag this game out, try to lean on them and win in the fourth quarter.
And you talked about the wounded animal.
If you're going to have a chance.
You talked about the wounded animal last week referring to Florida, and it's you have the etch and sketch, but it's how many times are you going to shake it up?
Yeah.
Because you just lost to USF. You just got...
This could be a dead animal we're looking at.
Yeah, this is a dead animal. This is, unfortunately... Billy Napier headed to the guillotine right now, slowly but surely. And I think Miami's covering this one.
Part of me wants to take this.
Take the over?
No.
Take the under? Yeah, do it again.
It's there.
Look behind you before you take it, though.
I'm taking Florida.
You should have looked behind you.
I called the game with Florida last week. I can't help that DJ threw 5 picks.
It's not your fault.
I called that game last week.
This is a Josh Pate.
Yeah,
it's not
you
your
didn't
fault.
fail. They failed you.
Yeah, I watched that game. They had every opportunity to win that football game. They had every opportunity to cover as well.
Defense is
throwing 5
insane.
picks. Yeah, incredible.
Right. And so just so we're following, you're also taking Indiana? I know we're going back again, but you're taking Indiana
Over.
as well.
Over.
Because I know the dog.
Hey.
Because I know you seem like you're really thinking clearly right now. You're taking the over. You're not taking Indiana. Because I think we could have thought he took Indiana as well, right?
No, he took the over.
I got the over.
Got the over.
Okay.
And I think we all know.
And you're taking Florida.
We all know, and the audience watching at home right now too, my head's not clear. My head's not clear. But I'm taking Indiana, Illinois. I'm taking over in the total points. And I'm taking Florida plus 7.5.
If I could get the, I don't know what to do from last week, spliced up with my head's not clear, I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that. I am with...
One thing's clear and that his head's not clear.
Yeah, that's.
My instinct is to go decide you went. Florida, but I did it last week. I got let down. And you are right. Like I think there were -4 turnovers. They turned it over 5 times. Yeah, that screams, all right, bounce back. My fear is you're right. And it's just a dead team now. Yeah. But they didn't quit on him last year. And they had every reason to. They didn't mail it in last year. What if they're just not good? By the way, you mentioned the yips. How about my top 2 preseason quarterbacks in the SEC now have the yips? I'm watching Arch Manning and DJ Lagway not even be able to.
You can't control that, though. That's not on you.
Yeah, it's not on me.
That's not on you.
And
you should have been right about that. And also, Arch Manning, reported first by Jeremy Klump, is hurt.
But denied by Steve Sarkisian.
Denied so aggressively that's like, well,
okay, we know. So aggressively, so aggressively.
Is Arch hurt? Did he tell you that? Did he say that? It's like, all right, guess he's not hurt. Like these, obviously, we had this conversation on the bus. Like, if you are Sark, eventually you have to come out and be like, yes, he's hurt, because you need to protect your player as well.
Yeah.
If you want players to come and play for you, you want them to feel like you're going to look out for them when it comes to the media. And if he's not playing this well and you come out week 8 or 9 and be like, by the way, Arch has been hurt, it's a little late. So the time's kind of ticking on that for like, hey, are you going to protect your players?
Do you think that the concern in Austin may be if we confirm that he's hurt, Garrett Nussmeier is going to go, I've been hurt too, we're still winning?
Somebody did call that.
Who did that?
Week 1 of the show.
Wow. I know.
Don't know how. Well, I know, but the audience doesn't know.
Pate State medical sources?
Yeah.
They really do bat 100%. They really never
You were
miss.
on the inside there.
Yeah.
But even getting back to that point, again, it's not like the Gators like laid down and quit in that game and it was like an abysmal game for Napier. They still had penalties that, undisciplined football. But it's just like, your Q out there, your best players out there throwing picks. In my hopes is that my man just had a bad game. They're all rallying around him right now because they see all the, each side of the ball, the offensive line being having a really good defense. Hopefully the defense is over there patting them on the back. Hey, we're going to bail you out. And they're hungry for this game because this is, Miami at Florida. This place is going to be rocking.
Yeah, it's going to be a make or break
Or
situation.
Florida at Miami.
My fear is that you say they rallied around Billy Napier last year. And it's like, it's like playing a game of Jenga. Like you're going to stack, you're going to keep pulling out pieces, but it's pretty high now.
Yeah.
And you don't really believe in Billy Napier, but it's like, we got players, we got DJ Lagway, but DJ now has thrown 5 interceptions. So from an offensive standpoint, coaching standpoint, situational awareness, in Florida, there's not a lot of things to hold on to from a foundational standpoint and be like, we feel confident in this.
But how about the explosion of excitement when you're in that Jenga and you pull that one out, you think it's over and it stays.
Yeah.
And everybody goes crazy.
That
could be Florida this week. Florida plus 7.5.
Yeah, Miami minus 7.5.
Confident.
Where are you going? Have you drawn a line in the sand yet? Over?
I went Miami and I laid the points. Because the other thing I keep thinking about is Florida could play good and still lose. Mm-hmm. Miami's a really good team.
Yeah.
Everyone, I kind of fell victim to this earlier in the week. I made it all about Florida. Well, if they do this, what if they don't turn the ball over at all and they still just get beat because the other guy's a better team? What if that happens? Carson Beck's looked incredible.
It's a fair point.
They got a better collection of pass catchers this year than they did last year. And the huge concern with Miami was they're replacing their top 6 receivers. Well, that's why college football is the way it is. When you can portal guys in, it's not a 3-year rebuild for all these programs. And Miami is one of them who can answer a question really quickly. So quarterbacks answered, receivers answered. That's why I keep going to the secondary, because they swear their secondary is improved, and it is improved because it was terrible last year. But if there's a flaw or a deficiency on Miami's team that hasn't been exposed yet, it's the secondary. That's why that's their best shot this week. But you're counting on a guy who turned it over 5 times, which in one game is more than 121 FBS teams have the whole season, by the way. You're counting on that to be your hope. And I don't trust it. That's why I'm laying the points with Miami.
Carson Beck is your Heisman favorite right now, plus 750.
My goodness. Whom's to defunct that?
Whom's?
Where's Mateer, number 2?
Number 2, I think it was at 950.
He's at 950.
Are you able to track, if you hit up FanDuel, how many people rocked with you on like the John Mateer stuff?
Probably so. It's a good point. I need to go find it. And I need to know every one of those people.
Yeah.
I don't think many of them follow.
You'll just have to do a show. You know how like at the top you bet, we got people tuning in from Indiana, Kansas, Georgia. You just need to do a show to where it's just 10 minutes of you just rattling off names.
Clark, Michael, Steven.
Put glasses
John
on at the
Mateer.
low brim of his nose. And
We got a
just read off
special Wednesday
names.
night show.
Yeah.
I love those
First
people.
25
These
minutes.
are the John Mateer sickos.
Whoever they are, I love them.
Yeah. Here we go.
We're either getting closer or we're there. Are we there?
It's Wednesday. That's the hard part about it, bro.
Is there a reason y'all two were separated on this episode?
I thought Josh thought it was the more appropriate thing. Me, I'm fine.
Yeah, I was sitting down in that chair and Taylor was like, hey, do you mind moving over there? We need to put Josh Pate between us. I was like, all right.
I just wanted a warm chair.
Yeah.
You forget you did the intro. So when we were sitting there.
But before.
Yeah, but
when I was just
before.
chilling, I was reading my notes.
Were you?
I was
Were
like,
your notes?
yeah, I was. You saw me. I was like doing yoga. I was doing breath work.
That's right.
You know, hey, Will, do you mind moving? We want to put Josh Pate in the middle chair so they can separate us.
True classic game of the week. Every weekend's got games, but only one fits just right. This is true classic game of the week. That game is going to be the Bussin Bowl, Michigan in Nebraska. Matt Rule, year 3. Bryce Underwood, Dylan Raiola. You want to feel good on game day, even though you're nervous about your team. What do? You grab the True Classic pants, a True Classic t-shirt, you put it on, you feel good, look good, and hopefully your team plays good. Let's get into it. 3-0, the Michigan Wolverines, going to Lincoln, Nebraska. Game started, I believe Will, according to Will, it opened up at Michigan -6.5. Turns out that was debunked. That was a lie.
Was that a lie?
It was -3.5 when I placed a $1,000 bet on Michigan in June.
Was it a lie?
Wait, what was the claim? Let's run this right now. What was the claim?
Michigan was favored by -6.5.
Dave Portnoy said, wow, this game opened up at -3. The world still sees how good Michigan is, something along those lines. And Will responded without doing any homework. This game was actually at 6.5 in the summertime. And I see these tweets, I think, I placed a bet on Michigan, Nebraska in the summertime when we went over the Bussin Bowl in one of our episodes. So I go back June 10th, 2025, I placed a $1,000 bet on Michigan -3.5, which was the line.
But what he's failing to realize and understand is on June 9th, it was -6.5. I placed a bomb on Nebraska and it moved the line down to 3.5 the next day. So when he took it and he said, oh, it's -3.5, I also sent a photo confirming like, hey buddy, look closer. This is what it was.
Yeah.
Can I ask a personal question?
Go ahead.
It's really personal. And so if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. What constitutes a bomb in Will Compton's world? Respectfully, you're living in a different world than most of our friends watching. So like, what?
I think people would be surprised. It's not like a bomb. My bomb is when I put $1,000 on something.
Your bomb. That's the sign of Will Compton having confidence.
That's a sign. Yeah, that's bomb city.
It's a lot of money.
I'm in there. Like I'm in the FanDuel where I'm responsible.
Right.
100 P's, 250. Depending on how many games I do, a unit will be like 250 or 100. Sometimes if I'm feeling really confident, I'll go 500. And then I'm sprinkling a lot of parlays. I love the parlays, Josh Pate. If you were a parlay guy, it'd be Joshy Parlay. But I'm sprinkling 50 on this. You got a long one. Let me throw $10 on that. That one might hit. Let me get a taste of that.
So 1,000, like that is 10 out of 10 confidence. For
1,000 in Willie C's world, that's a bomb.
Wow.
Willie C's world, $1,000 is a massive a nuke you would put on a bet slip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this conversation on Monday. I thought the same thing. Like, okay, Will's putting 1,000 on it. That's a nuke for Will Compton. What would a nuke, like, how would I say that I'm confident in this game? So guys, I actually texted you both my bet slip for this game if you want to take a look at it.
Oh.
So when I think about the University of Michigan and what they're able to do to teams.
By the way, Taylor put $50,000 on the game.
Yeah, this is not the metric system. This is real dollars.
Those are real dollars.
These are not euro.
That's
this
USD.
is not yen.
That's domestic.
You sure about this?
Yes. Here's why. When you look at a blue chip, blue blood program like the University of Michigan, the grittiness, the toughness, the trenches is the things you want to look at. A team that says, you think you're this, we're going to make you question who you are as a culture. We're going to make you question everything you've done leading up to this point. Example, Ohio State, 20.5 point favorites going into Columbus last year. They decided they wanted to play the same game we play. We win that game 13-10. We don't have passing last year. We play USC. Their first year in the Big Ten, everyone's really excited. They can throw the ball over the yard. We decided to go on a 2-minute at the end of the game through the ground. When we were unable to pass the ball, you stack the box with 8, and we make you question, how bad do we really want this game? Now, I meant every word I said when I love Nebraska. It really is GBR after Go Blue for me. I think the fans there should be very excited about what they have on their roster, what they've been able to do. Matt Rule in year 3. But when it comes down to these one-score games you're talking about, where you really have to figure out who you are, and you were in one this year, that gives you confidence. But then you have a team like Michigan, which doesn't have as much riding on this year. Everyone in the Michigan world is like, hey, we're really excited about our quarterback. Get a couple more pieces around him. Like, we're competing for a national championship next year if we do some portal stuff. This team will make you second guess at the worst times. And for 60 minutes, when you have 70,000 people in Lincoln, Nebraska, and you're so excited about the opportunity, 90,000 people, where the biggest banner in that stadium is, look how many sellouts we've had. People live, die, and breathe in Nebraska for that school. I want them to have all the hope in the world. And unfortunately, this game might be a blowout yet again.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot riding on it. I feel like you want this game. I feel like you need this game, psychologically.
You talking about for me?
I'm not just speaking for you. I'm speaking for Nebraska too.
Oh, you're 1,000% spot on, bro. This is like there's the personal stuff. Like, yeah, I want to beat Taylor badly at this game. Trust me, I want to have some messages to old Davy Pizza Boy as well. But Nebraska too, like, you know, you got the fodder out there in the social media world. Taylor, hey, don't show Will this. Like, you got the top 10 scoring offense, top 10 scoring defense on the sample size that we've played. Our passing defense is like the number 1 pass defense in this first 3 span of games since the year 2000. So there is a lot of that stuff. There's also like, could Dylan Raiola be in the Heisman talk? Absolutely. Stat-wise, statistically, he could. But none of that matters unless you get a win like this against a team like Michigan. You can talk about it's Cincinnati. We eked it out against Cincinnati. It was a 1-score game. Huskers of the past find a way to lose that game. That's where, like, optimistically, like, when everybody's talking about, oh, you barely won that game. No. The sicko Nebraska fans know what optimism to pull out of that game, whether it's on special teams, whether it's on the having a big plays by the defense in the second quarter right before half to get points and the ice the game at the end of the game. But it's like that guy of nerves, of anxiety, just tapping on the window of like, hey, what's going to happen this week against a team like Michigan? This is another stone that the Rule era needs to capture. And it hasn't happened. Like, 27 games losing streak in a row against AP top 25 opponents. That stat's there. The world and the headspace that Nebraska lives in, this game means everything. This game, because we beat Michigan, you're in the college football playoff conversation. We beat Michigan, Dylan Raiola's in the Heisman conversation. I'm confident because I know what me and Coach Rule have been building these last 3 years. I'm confident, but just to speak for Nebraska as a whole, this game means a shit ton. I also remember the feeling we had a couple years ago when we had the Bussin Bowl. We went down 14-0 like that. And they have a long drive, punch it in. They tip a pass, pick it off, and we needed Memorial Stadium on 3rd and 1 against Blake Corum and this Joe Moore offensive line. And we didn't have Memorial Stadium because of all the pain that we've endured since the Pelini era, since Willie C. We haven't beat Michigan since Taylor Lewan was on the field 2 years in a row. His senior year, we beat him at home. His junior year, we beat him at our place. That's the last time Nebraska's beat Michigan.
Hold on.
So I'm aware.
That's not factual.
That is factual. You look at the last time Nebraska beat Michigan was 2013 at Michigan, 17-13.
That is factual.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, so they won 2 in a row.
So, like, there's a whole role. There's so much history that's, like, going into the feeling of every Husker fan waking up on Saturday morning. For me, it's a little different because there's a personal thing to where I want to get Taylor. Yeah, he's got a bigger bond than me because, you know, he's got some cash. He's got some sugar daddy cash as well. But I am as confident as ever going in to this game because I feel like I know what kind of product we have. It's just, this game's going to be one in the trenches. I'm not worried about Raiola and the guys on the outside. I think we got some good skill guys. I think we got a good secondary. To me, it's about the trenches. Michigan does a good job running the football. They have a good front seven. I wish we had 15 still on Nebraska's roster. And Bryce Underwood's a hell of a player. He's a tough player, and he decided last week there's no eyes downfield the whole time as he's getting near the line of scrimmage to throw it deep. Once he decides he's going to break the pocket a little bit, he puts it in his arm and he's going to take off. And we had trouble with Sorsby. So there are those nerves, but this is, I'm very excited because we're going to get a real test this weekend to see what kind of team Nebraska has.
If I believe what I said when we were sitting on the bus over here in the preseason about Nebraska, if I believe that the rule is real, if I believe that Dylan Raiola can progress under Dana Holgorsen, if I believe the wide receiver corps at Nebraska is among the more underrated position groups in the Big Ten, if I believe the program's going to arrive, if I believe they're a playoff contender, which you and I both believed preseason, this is the stage it's got to happen on. So while the viewers may watch and say, hey, I know why he's nervous, I know why he's at the very least excited, even though he's got a national championship in the past couple of years, why would I be nervous? Well, because I feel like I've got a lot emotionally riding on this as well. And I need it to happen.
Biggest Nebraska fan in Nashville, Tennessee, your words.
That's documented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The Pate model has the wrong team favored.
Let's talk about the Pate model. It has the wrong team favored here. It thinks Nebraska not only covers, it thinks Nebraska wins outright. So if I believe all that, but I still respect Michigan, and I do believe that them tasting their blood on the road at Oklahoma means a lot for this game, the conventional college football wisdom in me says, nope, until a team's arrived, they're not gonna arrive against a team that's already arrived or a program that's already arrived. And Michigan would be the latter and Nebraska would be the former here. But then the other side of me says, didn't you just watch Texas A&M go do something people say they'd never do last week on the road at Notre Dame? Isn't this college football? Cannot just turn into had not all the time? So this Saturday, I'm actually going to roll with the model. And I'm going to pick Nebraska to win outright. And I'm going to believe in Matt Rule and you and the program that you guys have 50-50 built. And I want to see what Memorial Stadium's like in the fourth quarter when the game's on the line.
It's unfortunate you have to go down too. It's unfortunate you have to go down with him. We interrupt this episode to bring you Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra's got this idea we love. Play for an Ultra. It's all about those little friendly competition when there's an Ultra on the line.
Yeah, like if we were playing Pig, that's where I'd take you down and claim my Ultra.
I think we've all seen you play Pig. Come on, man. You know I'd own you. That beer would be mine.
See, that's exactly my point. Doesn't matter if it's touchdowns, hoops, ping pong, cornhole, whatever. Bragging rights taste better with an Ultra.
Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
It's going to be a juicy atmosphere. Again, it's like
history tells us it'll be a juicy atmosphere for the first 15 minutes of the game.
Well, the game you went to, didn't you go to Colorado last year?
Yeah, you guys were in that game.
Yeah.
You guys were actually up the whole time, right?
Yeah, but it was juicy. Juicy. This is going to be Colorado 2.0.
I remember going to halftime and being like, and I think I said this to G. Where's G? I said like Colorado was the worst coach team I've ever seen in my life.
It was bad.
It was so bad. But yeah, Lincoln was rocking. Lincoln was absolutely rocking then.
Look, a couple years ago, Willie C wasn't on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, I think we're
Willie C
starting,
was on the Jumbotron
we're
last year
starting
when you
to
got
get
to
into
taste
a
Colorado.
crazy main character syndrome to the point where Will actually thinks his words are affecting like fan base. Like he told me yesterday, he's like, I don't want to say too much right now because I don't want bulletin board material for Michigan. And I'm thinking, you've completely lost yourself. So much so that 2 years ago, September 23rd, 2023, Will is yelling at me, fingers like, we're gonna beat your candy ass for fucking 60 minutes. And now we get
that's it. Again, that's right before the game. I had the mic in my hand. I'm trying to get the people
this
going.
September 23rd was on the bus. That was shot on Monday. And so
I digress.
I sit here Monday and Will comes in, shakes my hand. You know, we both done the same thing. We walk in the back, we talk our little shit, and then we walk out and the next person comes in. And I'm just like, what's changed? Because 2 years ago when everyone's like, Michigan could win the national championship, probably Will has the roster to, has the coaching staff. But then Will coming off his another non-bowl season, first year quarterback, or not even, you didn't even have Raiola yet. You had Raiola committed to your program. And he's like, we're beating your candy ass. We're going to do this. Hey, we got a puncher's chance. All these things. And it's like, that's the fight I love out of Will Compton. The fight that he's going to drag, no matter what. Nebraska Cornhuskers, when you're down, I'm gonna keep it. And when we're up, I'm gonna be waving that flag. Now we get to this week. And it's like, it's like a little turtle. He's just kind of like, he gets a little scared, a little spooked. Like the moment's here, and you're kind of having paralysis by analysis because like all the words, all the thought process, where you're like, we're gonna be X, Y, and Z. So okay, well now's the time. It's Saturday. Saturday is right around the corner, and there's just crickets. I don't want to give the football team more bulletin board material, as if a 35-year-old at the time of the game, 36-year-old will have that much weight bearing on a game. And I just think to myself, I'm getting to the point where if Nebraska doesn't win this game,
Oh no! Don't say this.
Will is done.
Oh.
And I'm not trying to port nor
That's
nothing.
well, hey, these are words again.
I'm
listen to
not
him.
trying to, but like, I can see the pressure. And if he's feeling that, he's not even in the building.
Oh.
It's like, I got a freshman quarterback who, you know, obviously we don't have the game he won against Oklahoma, but he's in the third quarter still jumping out, excited to be there. Seems like he's too ignorant at this point to flinch at adversity. Like he doesn't really know the pressures of like what us sitting here as fans are. And if he feels this way, how is Matt Rule feeling? I popped on the screen the other day of his podcast, and he goes, "I'm so excited to see you." I thought, oof. Oof. Are you?
Are you, bud?
Yeah. Coach Eckler sends me a blue heart emoji and then crying tears this week. And I'm thinking, they're thinking about it way too, like, hey, you got to play 60 minutes. I'm not on the gridiron. It'd be a lot better in Michigan's favor if I was back then. But unfortunately, I can't play the game for them. But you can't lose this game on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's what they've done so far.
We've
That's
lost
tough.
the game on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
The pressure is building up so much. It's like, I truly sit here and I'm like, maybe call Biff Poggi, but you gotta give him one. Gotta give him one.
This is the same guy that was shut down after the Oklahoma game, asking me, Willie C., what do I do on the internet? What kind of picture? What do I post? How do I talk to the fan base after losing? I've never been in this spot. You've
I've
been in
never
this
lost.
spot plenty of times. Begging for some guidance and advice from his king.
That's what I want. That's the guy I want right now. Keep going.
And listen,
Bulletin board coming. Bulletin board incoming.
Keep going.
he wants it. He wants it. I'm sure. Listen, Michigan's probably just going to play a lot of Willie C tape before this game kicks off. They need some motivation coming into this place.
Once again, main character syndrome. Keep going. You're doing great.
I like Nebraska. I think we finally turned the page. And that excitement's been like it's like the same excitement like Cincinnati. It's like this slow burn because you just feel like a caged animal. You just feel like a caged animal. This is such a moment for us. I hope Bud Crawford walks out with all of his belts leading the Huskers into Memorial
I hope he
Stadium.
does too. That'd be sick.
I think the 97 championship team's going to be there too.
95.
95.
Everyone's walking out.
Everyone's walking out. This is a
6
war
teams
mode.
out there.
My face will be painted. And it's going to be fucking awesome, man. I'm excited.
I will say this in all seriousness. If you guys win this game, I'm going to shake your hand. I'm going to be happy for Nebraska. This is not a bit. I will mean that.
And I feel the same way with you.
History
you
shows.
can ask the boy.
History shows that is not the case.
That's
You've
fine.
looked me in the eyes and said, I hope that team fails.
This is a new year. This is a new team. This is a new Willie C. We lose this game, I'm not down at, I will feel like the world's crumbling. I'm going to do my thing about it. But, it's like we were talking before the season. There's 4, like if we're talking about Nebraska football being a potential college football playoff team, there's 4 games on the schedule. It's Michigan, it's USC, it's Penn State, and it's Iowa. And this is the first one. So
It's like the second or third time he's told us this. Listen, you have 2 days since Monday to think about a bet. I told you whatever you want to do, we'll do. I like for something to come to the table now.
Okay, so I would like to add to, if you're open to it, we are locked in on a bet for shaved heads and shaved faces for a loser. I would like to throw on the table. Loser of this game, $50,000 from Bussin With The Boys goes to the NIL collective of the winning team.
Why wouldn't it be personal?
Well, you don't want to donate to Michigan
I would love to donate to Michigan, absolutely.
if it's the Bussin Bowl, so why not with the Bussin Bowl, Bussin themed, Bussin With The Boys.
$50,000. So Nebraska loses.
Nebraska loses, Bussin With The Boys.
I donate as well as you to Michigan.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. I think that's a fun
Hold
bet.
on. I think also if you want to add something more to that, if Michigan wins this game, until they play next time, you have to concede to the fact that Michigan is the 1997 national champions.
As long as it's vice versa.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
But we're not
I
done
can
here.
do that.
I want you to grow your hair out.
Oh, that's off the table.
That's too much. That's where you draw the line.
That's
all
off
the
the
years.
table.
Same, just for the record.
We lose this game, I'm gonna get Josh Pate's haircut. I'm gonna get the buzz back there, and I'm gonna bick this top part, and I'm gonna have aviators on.
Yeah, I don't bick it.
But as far as the growing out there, that's here's what we got on the table.
Done growing.
Shaved face and head, no eyebrows. 50,000. Bussin With The Boys donates to the NIL collective of the winning team. And then what was that last one? The loser has to basically concede the 1997 national championship.
Right.
Until when again? Until they play again?
Yeah, until they play again.
Wait, do they
I don't
play
even
next
know if
year?
They play next year.
Yeah, we may have to check on that. Wow.
When's the next time Michigan and Nebraska are supposed to play? Because last year we looked it up and they were supposed to play for the next 7 years.
22, 23, no 24, back in 25. Maybe changing schedules every week.
Yeah, I'm not
They be
even
changing
sure.
schedules all the time, man. How do we feel about the bet? I feel like there should be more on the table.
That's where
'Cause
that's where we're at right
'cause-
now. No matter what, we're locked in at shaved head, shaved face. That was a handshake.
is it
That
just
was
shaved
locked
Yeah,
in.
one
yeah.
time?
I shook the hand on that. I shouldn't have. I want it to be more.
Is it just shaved one time, or you bald for the rest of the year?
It's shaved one time.
See, I like the idea of one of us being bald the rest of the year.
You gotta
I
drag
like-
me off for the rest
I
of the
like
year.
this being a bet where you go and it's like November, December, and you're still feeling the effects of this bet.
2028, boys. That's the next time they play.
2028 is the next time they play.
That sucks.
2028.
The bald and no mustache until 2028 would be.
Be at least till the end of the season.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Now we talking bald like Bick, or we can keep a little buzz.
Bald like Josh Pate. That's not a shot.
No, it's not at all.
Chef did it. And it's grown back pretty
Listen, yeah, like I feel good about shaving my head and knowing it's going to come back.
I will say there's been a couple thoughts. What if?
I know, like 6 months from now, my hair's going to look the exact same. If Will loses, like it might be me and 2 Pates next year sitting on the bus.
I'm gonna send you my number. We'll talk. We'll talk.
You guys can figure it out.
Yeah.
Dollar Shave Club, you guys get a cool sponsorship for that.
It's really cheap though. It's really affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys save a lot of money.
It's great.
I like the year. I'd like you to keep that in mind for the rest of the year.
Calendar year or
Calendar
season?
year,
Calendar year.
Calendar year.
Calendar year's off.
But the
Bro,
season.
what are you doing?
What do you
This
mean? What
is
am I
the
doing?
problem. This is the problem that I keep talking about is like all the confidence every single year, every single week. And now it's like time. It's time for you to figuratively and literally put your money where your mouth is.
I
And the
have
bet-
been.
the
I
bet
placed bomb on FanDuel.
The bet you come to me
Talking
with is like,
25,000 of my own dollars going to the NIL collective.
it's like, yeah, so we'll both just be donating to one school? Like that's not really a bet. That's like something I think we both sit down and like if we had like a backdoor conversation, we'd probably do that for both schools. Like, yeah, let's do 50 each. But it's like, that doesn't feel, it's like,
What's
I would
getting
have
you
no
off to
problem-
shaving
I would
my
have-
head
I would
for
have
a
no
year?
problem signing a Taylor Lewan donates $50,000 to Nebraska. Well, I have no problem with that. Just like I'm assuming you wouldn't have an issue with that either. That's like fun. It's great for the programs and stuff like that. But like, I want the loser to feel this loss because it's been brewing. It's been marinating for so long. And I see you this week and I'm like, this is not the Compton I know.
Josh, what are your thoughts? What do you think it should be?
I don't know. When I come to this kind of predicament, I just crowdsource it because my audience always comes up with something better than I do. I would like to see you throw out a first pitch at a Nebraska football or baseball game.
Would love that.
Yeah,
I
like that would
absolutely-
be
no warm up.
that would be good.
Yeah. I actually got one. And we'd have to work it out with the schools. Loser has to go to the other team's school and be a cheerleader for a game with the cheer squad. Dressed in uniform and everything.
All season.
No, just
travel.
So Michigan wins. You little maize and blue two-piece. Get some pom-poms in your hand, and I want you 4 quarters on the sideline.
Probably more looking at spring game here due to red tape, but yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a really good
I
idea.
think spring game would be great. Because that,
Yeah,
once again,
because
it's
the
a-
only thing that was going on in my head was just like, yeah, it's like that's an awesome idea. just the scheduling and shit. Like, hey, I gotta go.
Yeah. See, the feeling you're having.
Sweetheart, I gotta leave.
Hey, no, what an example for Rue. Seeing her dad Abby, dressed like she could be dressed in a little while.
Right.
Would be an example.
Charles can give you pointers.
By the way, that's only if you lose, which you're not going to.
That's the thing. He's not thinking about winning.
Listen, I can't play the game for these boys. Like,
But you saw the model.
yeah, I saw the mom.
Everything you've said is. I mean, they never had Willie C on the Jumbotron. I know Michigan's thinking about Willie C. Now it comes out like, puts the on, and you're like, well, I can't play for him.
But this bet thing is a complete, like, this is like a separate thing.
Feels pretty correlated.
I think if Michigan and Nebraska weren't playing, this bet wouldn't be here. Yeah, I like the dog on the road, but I would take them.
So what's the final bet?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the final bet is.
Socials on Thursday. Just keep pushing.
No, yeah, we're not pushing anymore. I would love a long-lasting bet. It sounds like you're not willing to do that.
You're right. Oh, that's off the table for me.
Okay, so it sounds like here's the bet. Loser has to shave their head and face.
The long-lasting
No
bet
eyebrows.
is the 1997.
Yeah, you've already agreed to that, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't shook on it, but yes, I've verbally committed
So
to
let's
it.
just lay it out then. You shave everything except for your eyebrows. Let it grow back as is. Loser concedes that the other team is the 1997 national champion, and then the winning team gets $50,000 from Bussin With The Boys donated to their school. Am I correct in saying all that?
I believe so, yes.
Is there anything else before we shake on this? I made the mistake of shaking on the shave face earlier. Any changes? Any thoughts? Brainstorm, no bad ideas.
I think it has to be for the football season.
I don't disagree. And you've
Yeah,
got
that's off the table.
What about
I'm not sure.
the next two haircuts? Our budget.
I mean, yeah. No bad ideas in brainstorm. Like we're like,
Not to kill the vibe on that, but you both have wives and kids, and you're gonna take family pictures and stuff. You're not-
that's what makes it
That's
so
what
much
makes
better.
it awesome.
But then
I told Taylor too. I walked in. I'll let you know. I put it on the table that I'm betting anything. She's like, why? Why do you do this? And I was like, because people have to know.
It's all good till that Thanksgiving family picture. You got the shaved head and the shaved
I
bust.
think that would be awesome.
Yeah, look, one shave, 1997,
$50,000.
$50,000.
What are you putting in? You were with Nebraska too, so what are you giving me?
You have to grow your hair out for a week.
Yeah. Unbeknownst to you, I have been. I have been.
I love Pate. Pate's been sitting here for 15 minutes.
No, I really think I just need to moderate this one. I need to sit this one out. My advice to you is lock all this stuff in the spring next time. You would have gotten concessions on everything in the spring, even in the summer, even in week one. But you let it get to game week before you threw the big tokens out there, and you didn't bite on all of
The
them.
thing with Will is it's a no before yes, and I thought if I've seen how confident he is, and then we get to like where I should believe he's most confident, we're Franklin the Turtle.
Oh, not Franklin.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's where I kind of go back to like maybe it's worth for our friendship.
Noise rattles an empty cage, and my cage is full of work. I know a rule, and I've been building these last 3 years.
In the model.
He's had quotes like that all year.
There it is.
It just
All
happened.
Thank you for another episode of The Locker Room, Bussin Bowl week. We will see you at the Rococo Theater on this Friday, September 19th in Lincoln, Nebraska. Doors open at 7. Live show with the boys kickoff at 8. We'll be doing a tailgate Saturday morning at Haymarket Park, correct? Haymarket Park, BWTB.com to find all that information. We'll all be in Lincoln, Nebraska. Love you, appreciate you, big hugs, tiny kisses.